Biden and Vice President Harris have been in office for 3 months. They've been in office for 3 months and have yet to deal with the single item issue affecting the American Negro. 90 days and not a single item of relevance to black folks. But 3 months ago, 5 months ago, November, you Negroes was out in the streets making black people feel bad about themselves if they did not vote. You used fear-mongering tactics to force the Negro to the election booth. You used fear-mongering tactics to force the Negro to the election booth. And so I ask all my American Negro brothers and sisters, what did you get with your vote? I must ask the question. I must ask the question. I know what your answer is. You know what your answer is? Your answer is, he just got in office. It's only been 3 months. Be patient. Give him some time, and he will address black issues. That's your answer. But that's the same thing you said about Hussein Obama. That is the same thing you said about President Hussein. You said, give him time. His first 4 years, he cannot worry about Negroes. He has to take care of other people. But his second term, he will take care of Negroes. So when his second term came, he didn't do anything for Negroes. And so you said, wait till the final year. Barack Obama's final year, you're going to see him do all kind of stuff for black folks. It never happened. And so here we go again with old crazy Joe. Here we go again with old crazy Joe. And once again, the same distraction is being played out by the Congressional Black Caucus, Democratic gatekeepers in the ghetto. And you Democratic gatekeepers in the ghetto are some of the most politically uneducated Negroes I met in my life. I mean no disrespect. But please, Congressional Black Caucus, Democratic Party, can you please give your Democratic ghetto gatekeepers a political education? Because it is embarrassing the way you send people out here rallying black people to vote who don't even know the history of America, don't know the Constitution, don't know the Bill of Rights, don't know how the presidents are selected. They know almost nothing, don't know the laws and acts that black people have gotten through the years. They don't know anything. I have yet to have a decent conversation with a Democratic Party ghetto gatekeeper. The Negroes who go out and use fear to force black people to vote, most of them do not understand political science in the United States. Please educate them. Please educate them. See, I'm tired of us allowing people to use emotions to control our political behavior. I'm tired of us allowing people to use emotions to influence our political behavior. What do you mean, Dr. Umar? This is what I mean. When you want black people to vote, you use fear. When you want black people to vote, you use hate. But nobody else is being motivated to vote by fear and hate. Black people are motivated to vote by fear. If you don't get Donald Trump out, you're going to lose something. What am I going to lose? I don't know, but you're going to lose something. Well, Donald Trump is a racist. He hates black people, blah, 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 blah. So does Joe Biden. So does Bill Clinton. So does Barack Obama. They all hate black people. So what makes Donald Trump so special? Stop letting people use emotions to influence your behavior. They don't use emotions with nobody else. You know what they use? Concessions. You want black people to vote? Use emotions. You want white people to vote? Use concessions. You want black people to vote? Use emotions. You want Europeans to vote? Use concessions. You want black people to vote? Use emotions. You want Latinos to vote? Use concessions. You want black people to vote? Use emotions. You want Mexicans to vote? Use concessions. You want black people to vote? Use emotions. You want Asians to vote? You use concessions. You want black people to vote? Use emotions. You want LBGT to vote? You use concessions. When are we going to wake up? We're the only people who are led around on a political leash based on emotions. They get you riled up, and by getting you riled up, they can get you to do anything they want you to do. Nobody else comes to political decisions that way except the American Negro. Everyone else is motivated to vote by a concession. Donald Trump told the Hispanics, vote for me, you get the Hispanic Prosperity Bill. They voted for him, they got the Hispanic Prosperity Bill. Joe Biden told the transgenders, if you vote for me, I will stretch out the 1964 Civil Rights Bill. I will endorse the Equality Act. LBGTs voted for Joe Biden, and that's what they got. Barack Obama told the homosexuals, if you vote for me, I will repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell. The homosexuals voted for Barack Obama. They repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Biden and Obama said, Latinos and Mexicans, if you vote for me, we will relax the immigration rules and we will try to let a lot of the illegal immigrants stay here and become citizens. And what is Joe Biden doing? He's promising 11 million undocumented immigrants American citizenship. Joe Biden is about to make history. And he's going to make history right on the Negro head. He's going to make history right on your head. He's promising 11 million undocumented immigrants work visas and American citizenship. Work visas and American citizenship. Let me ask you a question. If Joe Biden can promise 11 million undocumented illegal immigrants a work visa and a pathway to citizenship, where are those 11 million jobs going to come from? I'm going to ask the question again. Where are the 11 million jobs going to come from for the immigrants that Joe Biden is going to make American citizens? Somebody give me an answer, please. Somebody give me an answer, please. If Joe Biden is promising 11 million undocumented immigrants citizenship and work visa, let's start with the work visa. Let's start with the work visa. If 11 million undocumented immigrants are going to get a work visa, where are those jobs going to come from? Because the economy is on life support. COVID has the economy on life support. That's why they're sending you $1,400 this week. COVID has the economy on life support. That's why they're sending you $1,400 this week. So if COVID has the economy on life support, where is Joe going to get 11 million jobs for the undocumented immigrants? You want to know where he's going to get them from? Guess where the jobs are going to come from? Guess where the jobs are going to come from? The jobs are going to come from the black community. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The job you were going to get after you got out of prison, forget about that. It's going to an undocumented immigrant. The job your child was going to get after college, forget about that. It's going to an undocumented immigrant. Your job, you're probably going to get laid off. It's going to go to an undocumented immigrant. You know what they're going to do? You are about to experience in your lifetime. You are about to experience in your lifetime one of the greatest replacement, racial removal and replacement initiatives that have ever been implemented by a modern government in your life, because this is going to happen before he's out of his first term. I don't even think he's going to need a second term for this. You're about to witness 11 million black people get laid off, prevented from a job, prevented from a business loan, prevented from job training. You're about to see this in your life. They're going to move you over and let the immigrants take your place. Oh, yes. All those college programs, the job training. Y'all hear me talk about how we need to bring the trades back for our sons and daughters so they can become plumbers and electricians and welders and carpenters and roofers and auto mechanics. Well, guess what? They can forget about that. It'll still be room for a few, but they can forget about that because guess what's about to happen? All those job training programs, guess who about to flood all the job training programs? Guess who is about to flood all the job training programs? Guess who about to flood them out? Courtesy of your Democratic vote. Guess who's about to flood them out? Courtesy of your Democratic presidential vote. The illegal immigrants are about to flood out all the job training programs. They're going to flood out all the welfare programs. Oh, yes. If you're not already on public assistance, you won't be getting on public assistance. I'm going to say it again. If you are not already on public assistance, you won't be getting public assistance. Let me say it again. If you are not already on public assistance, you will not be getting public assistance. All of that is going to the undocumented immigrants. All the job training, undocumented immigrants. Oh, yes. GED programs, undocumented immigrants, and most of all, and most importantly, low skill, low wage jobs. They are about to monopolize them. Low skill, low wage jobs. They're about Walmart. It's over. McDonald's. It's over. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This is the beginning of the end. They are going to make the American Negro a permanent underclass on a Democratic watch. Obama and Joe Biden is the greatest tag team championship I ever seen in my life. Barack Hussein Obama and Joe Biden are the greatest tag team championship ever. They better than Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. They better than Hawk and Animal with the Road Warriors. They better than Junkyard Dog and Tito Santana. They better than the British Bulldogs. They are the greatest tag team of all time. Barack Hussein and Joe Biden. Those two. And then if you add Bill Clinton, oh my God. Oh my God. Let's throw Hillbilly Bill up in there. Let's throw Wild Bill up in there. So you got a 3-man tag team championship. Wild Bill Clinton, Insane Obama, and Crazy Joe. Wild Bill Clinton, Insane Obama, and Crazy Joe. 3-man tag team. These 3 Democratic presidents. Don't talk to me about the Republicans because we already know what they are about. We already know what George Bush Sr., Jr. and Trump is about. We already know because they were honest. They were honest with the Negro. George Bush Sr., former CIA director, he never lied to you or promised you nothing. George Bush Jr., you saw what he did when Hurricane Katrina hit. When Hurricane Katrina hit, that devil act like Hurricane Katrina was a water leak. He treated Hurricane Katrina like a balloon that exploded, like a sink that had a leak in it. He showed no reaction or response whatsoever. Him and that damn Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza Rice. You saw how they treated our brothers and sisters down in New Orleans and Mississippi and Alabama with that Hurricane Katrina. And you saw how he let the white folks steal all the FEMA money. Came in and robbed our people blind out of their FEMA money. You saw that. You saw that. You saw what they did. You saw exactly what they did. Shreveport, Louisiana, May 1st. Shreveport, Louisiana, May 1st. The prince is coming for the first time. You saw what they did. Now I want you to compare the presidential reaction to the Asian violence in Atlanta to Hurricane Katrina. I want you to compare the presidential response to Hurricane Katrina to the presidential response to the Asian violence in Atlanta. Mind you, My heart goes out to those Asian families. Nobody should lose their loved ones. I don't have to lose my humanity to be race first. I don't have to lose my humanity to be a revolutionary Pan-Africanist. Loss of life is loss of life. Unjustified murder is unjustified murder. I don't care who does it. I don't care who the victim is. But wait a minute now. As a result of an Atlanta murder of 8, the president and vice president paid a personal visit. The president and vice president paid a personal visit to the community. There was no personal visit with Hurricane Katrina. Thousands dead. Definitely hundreds dead. No personal visit whatsoever. No personal visit. But look at what they just did for the other people. See? And then we've been trained by the Democratic Party ghetto gatekeepers to protect the Democratic Party from black people's criticism. If you want to take George Bush Sr., George Bush Jr., and Donald Trump in the 3-man tag team, let's look at this. We're going to look at the 3-man tag team match. We got a 3-man tag team match. We got Bush Sr., Bush Jr., and Donald Trump taking on Wild Bill Clinton, Insane Obama, and Old Joe. Let's look at this now. 3-man Royal Rumble, 6-man tag team match. 6-man, 3 and 3. It's the WWF Royal Rumble. Let's look at this now. Let's look at this. And they're going to wrestle and struggle over the grand championship of the Negro vote. The heavyweight championship is the Negro vote. So there's a 3-on-3 tag team match, 6-man tag, WWF SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania for the heavyweight championship, which is the black vote. Let's see who actually screwed black people more. Let's see who actually screwed black people more. Let's see. So, you got Daddy Bush. He sent record numbers of black men to go die in Desert Storm. Over 70% of the frontline ground troops were black men, and black men are less than 10% of the population. So how in the hell are we 70% of the frontline ground troops? Disposable life. Disposable life. Disposable life. He also had a hand in the CIA crack invasion of the black community because he was the CIA director right around that time. So Daddy Bush had a hand in the chemical warfare against the black community, and he had a hand in the disproportionality loss of life of black troops in Desert Storm. So that's Daddy Bush. And then we go to the son. Turned his back on our Hurricane Katrina victims. Let the white folks rob all the FEMA money. Okay? Now let's go to Donald Trump. Sign Hispanic Prosperity Bill. Re-energize racist white America. Poor white racists. Re-energize them more than we've ever seen before. So that's what the Republican team got. Now let's look at the Democratic team, and I want you to tell me who crushed us worse. Who crushed us worse? Bill Clinton, 3 strikes and you out. Bill Clinton, mandatory minimum sentencing for nonviolent drug offenses. First time in American history. Exploded the prison rate. Exploded the prison rate. And then he had the welfare to work program. Bill Clinton had the welfare to work, kicked all those single mothers off welfare and told them to go get a job so he could appease his conservative Democratic base. Kicked millions of black women off welfare, told them to go get a job that didn't exist in order to appease his conservative racist Democratic base. Right? Then he criminalized child support. Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton. Criminalized child support. You will now go to jail if you can't pay it. Fail to pay. Boom, 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 boom. Bill Clinton. Now, let's look at Barack Obama. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. LBGT'd black children, transgendered the public schools, ignored black people totally, took everything we fought for and gave it to every other minority group but us, put Assata Shakur at the top of the most wanted list, first time a woman was that high, raised the bounty to $2 billion, took money from HBCUs and gave them to white colleges, did nothing about police genocide, but signed the blue law that said if you fight back against the police, you go to jail for the rest of your life, killed Gaddafi, put AFRICOM on the continent. This is Obama. This is your savior. This is what your savior did. And then you look at Joe, and Joe only been in office for 90 days. He's already reinvigorated the transgender movement, the LBGT movement, looking out for the Asians. And he's about to lay off millions of black people so 11 million undocumented immigrants could get a work visa and a job. He is about to undergo the greatest social transformation in black America ever. So let me ask you a question. Who hurt us more, brothers and sisters? Neither one was on our side. Both sides are enemy. But in this three-man tag team, 3 over here, the Democrats, 3 over here, the Republicans, Royal Rumble. This is the Royal Rumble for the black vote. Can I ask y'all an honest question? Can I ask y'all an honest question? Which 3 hurt us more? Put the Democrats on the spot. I'm putting all Negrocrats on the spot. I'm putting all Negrocrats on the spot because you can't deny the truth. Can't none of you registered Democrats who are Negroes deny the truth? Who hurt us more? Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden, or Bush, and Trump? I'm going to ask you the question again. Who hurt black America more in the 21st century? Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, or Bush, Trump? We all know the answer, don't we? We all know the answer, don't we? We all know the answer. The Democrats, the last 3 Democratic presidents destroyed black America more than the last 3 Republicans. You could take it or leave it. You could take it or leave it. If I'm lying, I'm dying. The Democrats, the last 3 Democratic presidents hurt black America more than the last 3 Republicans. And can't nobody prove that wrong. Can't nobody prove that wrong. So then you say, well, Dr. Umar, what do you want us to do? You want us to vote for the Republicans? No, I want you to register as an independent. Or even if you don't change your registration, you can stay registered for what you want. You want to stay registered as a Democrat so you can do the primaries? Go ahead. You want to stay registered as a Democrat so you can do the primaries? Go ahead. But when you vote, you must vote and think like an independent. The black America should be its own party, not to run candidates for office unless we are the numerical majority in that particular jurisdiction. If we are the numerical majority in a certain jurisdiction, yes, I have no problem with a black person running and winning and serving an office over black people where we are the numerical majority. So when we are the numerical majority, by all means, we should run our own candidates. But when we are not the numerical majority, why are we running a candidate? Can somebody answer that question for me? Can somebody tell me, how do black people benefit when a black person runs for office in an area that is not predominantly black? Because if black people are running for an office in a city, state, town, jurisdiction that is not predominantly black, when they win, guess whose interest they're going to serve? When they win, guess whose interest they're going to serve? If I run for mayor of Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is mostly white, right? Whose interest am I going to serve after I win? It makes no sense for a black person to want to be the governor or the senator or the representative or the mayor for white people. It doesn't make any sense. And whenever, and do your research, If I'm wrong, prove it. Whenever a black person wins office in an area that is predominantly white, and you can't prove this wrong in no city, at no state, at any time. Listen to me. Whenever a black person is elected to office in a jurisdiction that is predominantly white, the black people suffer. Show me where I'm wrong. Show me where I am wrong. You can't name a single black elected official, not a president, not a governor, not a mayor, not a state rep, not a state senator, not a U.S. rep, not a U.S. senator. You can't name me one who has ever been elected to office in a predominantly white area who actually made things better for black people. You can't name me one. You can't name me one. And that is why I'm telling you all. And that is why I'm telling you all, we need to form a national black political union. A national black political union where we debate it out. And we invite the candidates in. Black people only. Excuse me, President Biden, you're running for re-election. You have a meeting with Black America. You have a town hall meeting with Black America. We have questions for you. Kamala Harris, you're running to be president. You have a meeting with Black America. If you do not show, you automatically do not get these 46 million votes. If you do not show, you automatically do not get these 46 million votes. That's how we should operate. The fact that most black folks are either Democrats or Republicans speaks to how politically uneducated we are, speaks to how loyal to the white power structure we are, speaks to the illusion of inclusion. It speaks to the illusion of inclusion. Now, let me get away from this for a minute. Congratulations, 3-man tag team championship. Wild Bill Clinton, Insane Obama, Crazy Joe, you have effectively won the title and hereby proven that the last 3 Democratic presidents have destroyed Black America more, far more, worse more than the last 3 Republican presidents. But Negroes are still in love with the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party owns the black church, and the Democratic Party donates to the black church, and the Democratic Party stays going to the black church. And the Democratic Party knows that as long as we got the church, we got the coons. As long as we got the black church in our pocket, we will always own the black vote. So let me segue for a quick minute. Is he Republican? You must not know who I am to ask such a silly question. You must not know who I am to ask such a silly question. You will never find me as a member of any white racist group. Okay? Not all churches. There you go with that nonsense. Not all churches. We understand there's exceptions to the rule. We understand that there are exceptions to the rule. But guess what? Exceptions do not break the rule. All snakes won't bite, but most of them will. All birds don't chirp, but most of them will. All black churches do not sell out the community, but most of them do. Stop focusing on the exceptions because you are in denial of the truth. We got a bad habit of doing that. Stop focusing on the exceptions because you are in denial of the truth. We have a bad habit of doing that. Stop focusing on the exception because you are in denial of the truth. Now let me talk to black parents for a minute. Let me talk to black parents for a minute. Black parents, as you all know, our children are dealing with unprecedented levels of racism. The type of racism that black children are experiencing in America right now haven't been seen in a long time. Our children are being beat by the police, killed by the police, called the N-word by their teachers. They're being forced to put their hand in toilets and unclog the toilets with their hands. They're being forced to act like slaves in the classroom. They're being forced to get down on their hands and knees and crawl around like animals. Jokes are being made about their skin, their hair, their lips, their nose. Black parents, listen to me. Because I'm the psychological chain breaker. I'm the psychological chain breaker. I'm the psychological chain breaker. Black parents, listen to me very well. I want the parents to listen. If you don't teach your child about racism, if you don't teach your child about white supremacy, if you don't help them understand what is happening to black people right now and why, if you are not proactive, if you try to ignore this, if you adopt a multicultural, they just need Jesus mindset, if you adopt the multicultural, they just need to take their Shahada mindset, if you try to explain away racism to your children using religion, guess what's going to happen? Your child is going to develop low self-esteem. Your child is going to develop a poor self-concept. And your child is going to develop insecurities around being black. I'm telling every black parent right now who can clearly tell that their child has been made aware that racism exists and that white people are racist, you need to start talking to your child about this situation. It is not going to go away, because if you do not interpret your child's experience for them, racism will, and it will have your child feeling ashamed to be black. You can no longer afford to act like America is not racist. You can no longer afford to act like white people are not racist. You have to teach your child about racism, or they will learn it by default from the American power structure. You must teach your child about racism, or they will learn it by default from the American power structure. You must teach your child about racism, or they will learn it by default from the American white power structure. I'm telling you now. Your child come home, mommy, they was calling me the N-word. They was talking about my hair. The teacher said we were slaves and the white man came and saved us from Africa because we was eating people and running around naked. You better explain to them why they're being lied to. And the reason why a lot of you are uncomfortable teaching the children the truth about racism is you don't want to tell them the truth about racism. Because the truth is too painful. And you've been brainwashed by the church and the mosque